You know those questions, the big ones, the ones that kind of hit you late at night when you're staring at the ceiling. Questions about life, about meaning, about why things are the way they are? Well, that's what we're jumping into. We're going to walk through those questions and find an answer that, believe it or not, has been there the whole time.
And really, when you get right down to it, all those big questions, they kind of boil down to this one single thing. When you look at the world, at all the chaos, or even just at your own life, haven't you wondered, does God actually care about any of this?
And look, if you've ever asked these things, you are in very good company. These are not new questions for our generation. We're talking ancient, honest-to-goodness struggles. These are the cries of kings and everyday people, right there in the pages of the Bible's wisdom books. And what's amazing is, these books don't just throw out cheap, easy answers. Nope, they actually give a voice to the very questions we're sometimes too scared to even say out loud.
Okay, so before we can even think about an answer, we have to get really honest about the problem. And the problem is that nagging feeling that so much of life, well, it's just unsatisfying, that it can all feel like vapor.
I mean, listen to this. This is one of the most jarring lines in the entire Bible. And get this, it was written by a king who had everything. I'm talking wealth, power, all the pleasure you could imagine, and wisdom on top of it all. He had the whole package. And yet, after he'd done it all, seen it all, his final takeaway was that it was all hollow, just empty.
Now, the key to really understanding what he meant is a Hebrew word, hebel. When we read meaningless, we might think it means life is worthless, but that's not quite it. Hebel is more like vapor or smoke. Think about your breath on a cold winter day. It's real, right? You can see it for a second, but can you grab it? Can you hold on to it? Nope, it's gone, just like that. That's Hebel.
And that is the heart of the struggle he's talking about. All those things we chase, pleasure, wealth, success. When that's all there is, it feels like trying to catch the wind. It's all Hebel. You can wear yourself out chasing it, but at the end of the day, what do you have? Empty hands.
All right, so after we've sat with that problem, that feeling of Hebel, the whole perspective takes a radical turn. And I mean, this is the pivot point for the entire story.
Because here's the thing. The ultimate answer to those deep aches, to that feeling of meaningless, it's not a new philosophy to master. It's not another self-help book or a checklist of rules to follow.
No, the answer is a person to follow. You see, the Old Testament often talked about wisdom like it was a person. But then the New Testament comes along and says, you know what? Wisdom is a person. His name is Jesus Christ. He is literally the wisdom of God in the flesh, stepping right into our vapor-filled Hebel world to give it real, lasting, eternal substance.
And that one single shift from a philosophy to a person, it changes everything. It completely reframes all those big questions we started with. It's the answer to that ache we all feel.
So you basically have two completely different ways of looking at life. On one hand, you've got life under the sun. That's the Hebel life, where everything feels like chasing the wind. But on the other hand, you have life in the sun, and that transforms the whole thing. Chasing the wind becomes pressing toward a real prize. Fleeting pleasure gets replaced by a deep, enduring joy. And that feeling that injustice goes unanswered, it's replaced by the absolute certainty that real final justice is on its way.
So think about how this reframes our actual day-to-day struggles. Suffering? It's no longer just some pointless tragedy. Now it's a hard road that actually leads to future glory. Our meaning in life? It's not wrapped up in our job title or our accomplishments anymore. It's found in an eternal purpose. Love isn't just a feeling that comes and goes. It's an unbreakable force that's stronger than even death. And prayer? It's no longer like you're just shouting into an empty room. It becomes a real conversation with Jesus who gets it. He knows what it's like to hurt.
So when it feels like everything in your life, your job, your relationships, your dreams, is built on shifting sand, this perspective gives you one single, solid foundation. A foundation that, can actually withstand any storm or any trial that comes your way. And that foundation is Jesus Christ.
So how do we actually live this out? Well, there's this really powerful way to think about it, a kind of metaphor for our life right now. And it's the idea of living between the gardens. It's pretty simple when you break it down. The whole story of the Bible starts in a garden, right? Eden, a place of perfect harmony that was broken and lost. And the Bible ends in a garden, a new garden city where everything is made right again. And us? We live right in the middle. We are living between the gardens. We experience the brokenness of the first for sure, but we live with the absolute hope of the second.
And knowing this isn't about just sitting around and waiting for the end. Not at all. It's a really active, wise way to live right now. It means we stop expecting this broken world to be a perfect paradise, because it's not. But we also don't fall into despair. We have a real, solid hope and a concrete purpose for our lives today.
And this right here, this is the promise that holds us steady in that in-between space. Even when life feels totally chaotic, or you feel like you're just failing over and over, God is still at work. Your life isn't random. It has a purpose, and He's going to see it through to the very end. He's writing a story, and you're in it.
So that leaves us with one last really important question to ask ourselves. Knowing that your life is right here in this in-between time, and knowing you have the one foundation that will actually last, what are you building? Is it something that's just going to disappear like vapor, like Hebel, or is it something that's going to last for eternity?